In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about oil pulling with coconut oil. I'm Kath and I've been oil pulling for about 10 years now, on and off. Oil pulling is an ancient Ayurvedic practice that has been going for thousands of years. It involves swishing oil around your mouth and then spitting it out. I'll tell you more about why we do that soon. What benefits can you get from oil pulling? First of all, it is amazing for your teeth and gums. Coconut oil in particular is antibacterial, antifungal and antimicrobial. As you can imagine, it's great for anything that's in your mouth, anything negative that's going on in your mouth. Coconut oil is good for it. What else it can do is strengthen your gums. So the actual act of swishing the oil around your mouth and pushing it through your teeth, anything that's stuck between your teeth, it can help to loosen that and get it out. It can, just by using your jaw and your gums, it just strengthens your whole mouth and the whole structure of your mouth. It is great for whitening your teeth. It's not going to have the same intense impact as, for example, a dental whitening treatment, but it is great for removing surface stains and brightening your teeth in a healthy way that's not going to make them sensitive. Coconut oil also is great for your immune system. It supports your immune system. If you think about this for a moment, you wake up in the morning and you will have whatever bacteria in your mouth. When you start eating and drinking, that is going straight into your bloodstream. If you oil pull on an empty stomach in the morning, that bacteria will be trapped in the coconut oil once it's been swished around your mouth, and then you're going to spit it out. Instead of it going into your bloodstream, you are getting rid of it out of your body, which helps your immune system by enabling it to focus on things that are more important rather than further incoming bacteria. As you can imagine, if you've got a sore throat or any kind of infection going on in your mouth, it is great for that. Another benefit, which I've not been able to find much out about online, is coconut oil is an expectorant, and I have found this myself. For example, I don't get colds very often, but when I do, I oil pull on an empty stomach each morning of the cold. As long as I've got the cold, I will oil pull every day. And what I've noticed is I usually can't get through a few minutes of oil pulling without needing to cough. And when I do cough, it brings up all that. When you've got a cold and you go to bed at night, and obviously you're not hydrating yourself as much as you would in the day. So any phlegm that is in your throat and in your system here kind of dries out and gets thicker. So that leads to more of a sore throat feeling in the morning. That's often why when you've got a cold, you feel worse in the morning because you feel so groggy because everything's just been lying there overnight. Well, coconut oil helps to loosen that and get it out. It helps you to cough it up much quicker than if you didn't do it. It's great for colds, and what I would recommend is, if you have a cold, take your jar of coconut oil up to bed with you and a clean spoon. First thing in the morning before you have anything to drink, you put your coconut oil in, oil pull with it and spit it out, and you'll notice that it will start to loosen up any phlegm and get that out. If you need to do it more than once, if you haven't lasted the full 15 minutes, that's fine. Just get a clean spoon and do it again. But it is great for getting that out and enabling you to feel more comfortable through the day. Here's how to oil pull. First of all, you get your jar of coconut oil, which is solid at room temperature, and that depends on the weather. So if it's really hot, or if your house is really hot, then it might be more liquefied. But I would say, if you've got a smaller mouth, I've got a smaller size mouth, so I would use a heaped teaspoon. And when I say heaped, I mean really heaped. If you've got a larger mouth, use a heaped dessert spoon. So you're going to put the coconut oil in your mouth and swish it round for up to 15 minutes. Don't go over 15 minutes, but try and go as far as you can to 15 minutes. If you're new to oil pulling, you might only last a few minutes, and that's fine. You can either spit it out and try again with some fresh oil, or you can just do it again next time. What you want to do is push the oil through your teeth. At first, it will feel weird. The texture will feel weird, and you might even feel a little bit sickly, but it's just because of the texture. It'll melt quite quickly in your mouth. Just push it through your teeth, let it touch all the sides of your mouth, just swish it around your mouth gently, and do that for up to 15 minutes. Then what you want to do is spit it out in the toilet or in the bin. Ideally, spit it into a tissue, put it in the toilet and flush it, or put it in the bin. That's fine. Then you want to brush your teeth. That is how simple oil pulling actually is. Here are some warnings about oil pulling. First up is allergies. If you have got any kind of allergy to coconut or coconut products, then you might want to choose a different oil. You can oil pull with other oils, but a lot of people choose to use coconut oil because it's got a nice taste to it, and obviously because of its antibacterial, antifungal and antimicrobial properties. If you have all your own teeth and no dental work whatsoever, then you can go for it. As long as you've got no allergies to coconut oil, there's no reason why you couldn't oil pull every day if you wanted to, and you would get great results from it. If you have dental work, then listen up for a minute. I've got some composite fillings and some veneers at the front. I oil pull when I need to. So for example, if I've got a cold, I'll oil pull. If I wanted to just whiten my teeth a little bit, I'll oil pull. Or if I had some soreness in my mouth, I will oil pull. Or anything that, maybe a sore tooth or a sore mouth, anything like that. If you have dental work, then you look online, most dentists will say it is fine to oil pull. The adhesive used for things like veneers and crowns and fillings or whatever it's used for is usually really strong. If you can imagine that eating and drinking, if you can eat and drink with your fillings in, then it's likely you're going to be able to oil pull. There's a lot of dentists that say there's no way that oil pulling would be enough to loosen any of the adhesive. If you have fillings that are loose, then don't oil pull. Wait until they're fixed and then consider oil pulling then. Because anything, if your filling's already loose, then anything's going to be able to loosen it, whether it be oil or eating or drinking or whatever. Just bear that in mind. If you have amalgam fillings, then I would like you to do a little bit more research into this. Most dentists say it's fine, and I did used to oil pull with amalgam fillings. A few years ago, I had my amalgam fillings safely removed by a smart dentist. SMART stands for Safe Mercury Amalgam Removal Technique, and there are not many dentists like that in the UK. There are obviously some, but depending on the area you live, you might not be able to find one close by, but they have to be removed in a safe way, basically. So I did used to oil pull when I had amalgam fillings in. The reason I'm telling you to look into it a little bit further is because there is the possibility that oil pulling can slightly cause the fillings to off-gas mercury and release it into your system. I imagine this also happens when you eat or drink anyway. I don't think it would be much different from that, but it might be something you want to look into a little bit further. When it comes to spitting your coconut oil out, do not spit it in the sink because it'll block the drain. So you want to ideally spit it in a tissue and put it in the toilet or the bin. Do not swallow the oil. Once you have swish that around your mouth for 15 minutes, it will be full of bacteria, and you do not want that going in your system. The idea is we want to get that out, not put it in. If you feel the urge, like what happens is when you put the oil in, it expands in your mouth as it picks up bacteria. Even if you started off with a smaller amount of oil, it will feel like you've got more in when you're ready to spit it out. If you get the urge that you need to cough or spit it out or anything, just do it straight away. You don't want to risk swallowing it. It's obviously not going to be extremely dangerous if you swallow it, but it's just all that built up bacteria. You don't want that in your system. Other than that, it is absolutely amazing. Also, you want to make sure you're buying organic cold pressed coconut oil. You can buy that from most supermarkets for about £3 to £4 for a jar this size. If you have any questions at all about oil pulling that you're not sure about, then you could ask your dentist. I can't guarantee they will know about oil pulling, and even if they do, they might say it doesn't work or it's not worth doing. It definitely is worth doing, and it does work, and it does have health benefits. It is great to give it a go, but again, if you've got dental work, then go slow with it, go gentle, and if you feel like you need to look into it a bit further, then do that. Please remember, you're responsible for your own allergies and your own actions, so if you're unsure about it, then look into it a little bit further. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again soon with more clean living and natural health videos. Thank you, bye.